Hey, hey, hey. What's up, everybody? What's up, Cody?
Hey Dan, hey everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to get this key drop into everyone's hands. Is everyone just as excited as we are?
Yeah, hopefully people have enough context coming into this live stream. They know what's going on. I see a whole bunch of GMs on the YouTube side. Maybe some people joining us in here from X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it these days. Um, yeah, you want to give some context? Like, what should we talk about? Shapecraft? What is Shapecraft? For
Yeah,
anybody
we can
who
kind of
doesn't know
jump in.
what, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
we can give a quick explanation of what Shapecraft is, right? And then I think a lot of people joining in today probably know, but for new people, we can give a quick overview. So Shapecraft is a month-long hackathon that started last week. Still a lot of time to jump in, find a team, build a project, and this hackathon is mostly focused on building worlds and like collaborating with other developers with other projects. So an example of that could be you build a game that has an NFT and you earn that NFT by playing the game. And then game two takes that NFT and says, hey, if you beat that game and then you play this game, you get you get this sword in this game. So just a small example of how you could collaborate. But that is the general premise of Shapecraft, is to build these worlds that are all interconnected.
Yeah, I think that interconnected idea is what comes up again and again. Like Han calls it the interconnected web of NFTs. This set of worlds that all collaborate together and coming up with like an incentive scheme. Like the hackathon kind of is an incentive scheme for everybody to collaborate, right? We're all collaborating on the I and the key, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in a moment and some of the ideas that people have had. But beyond that, you could even imagine a smart contract system such that collaboration becomes the default because you could get paid for collaborating with other people. So
For
a lot of
sure.
really cool stuff there that really pushes forward this like interconnected web idea.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, how about we jump into playing the game and minting the keys, and then we could talk about maybe the eye and like what this means as we go through the game and as you guys play the game on your own and start minting keys. We could talk about a little bit broader of what this all means.
Okay, awesome. This is what we're all here for, is the game. So this is the NFT distribution event of the Shapecraft key. Super, super excited to share it with you guys. If you run into any bugs through this thing, just let us know. There are a lot of moving pieces here, but hopefully this should work very smoothly for everybody. So it is now live on Alchemy University. Check it out. You'll have plenty of time to play this. If you've registered, you'll be able to play this throughout the entire hackathon. So again, if you run into anything, just let us know, but hopefully it should be smooth sailing for everybody. Let's go ahead and share screen, and I'm going to show you guys. It is going to be on the main net. Spoiler asked whether this is going to be on the main net, and spoiler, it is indeed. All right, let's go ahead and jump in here, and I'm going to share my screen. And this is what you guys will now see if you are on Alchemy University Shapecraft before you go over to the key drop. So the key drop is going to be a new tab that's going to pop open here now on Alchemy University. Make sure that you are registered for the hackathon. You will have to register before November 30th if you'd like to play the game to win the key. So make sure that you do that. So by registering, you'll see it right here. You can click the button and then it'll tell you whether or not you are registered. Once you are, you'll be able to see this over here. First, it's actually going to ask you to verify your email address, and then you'll come back in and you'll be able to play this game to earn 3 Shapecraft keys. Now, I'm super nervous actually because I don't want to lose at my own game here. So hopefully it only takes 2 minutes to play. So I'm going to play it live.
It can be difficult.
What'd you say, Cody?
Can be difficult. I was playing it just before this, and I beat it once, and then I looked away for 1 second, and a monster came in, ravaged me to death.
They come in where you least expect it. They're a little
Yes,
smarter.
they do. Yeah, the ones coming from the side are very tricky. So you guys will see.
But don't worry, you have infinite lives. You can
Yes.
try this as many times as you want. But what I want you to think about as you're playing this game is, for anybody participating in the Shapecraft Hackathon, which should be all of us here, think about how you could create something similar to distribute items like this, where you could have some sort of a Sybil resistance, whether that's through registration of a hackathon and submitting projects, or whether that's doing something on chain, or doing something that makes it so that you can get closer to one unique human and give them an opportunity to play something to earn an item. I think it's a really cool way to potentially distribute items, and not something we've seen a ton of. So definitely think through that quite a bit more, and hopefully this will give you some inspiration for how you could do that. So here we're going to go ahead and jump in and play this and see if I can win. This is the game that you are going to play, and I have 2 minutes to defend the town. And when I go ahead and press spacebar, I'm going to be able to control this arrow to take out these enemies. Now the blue ones run a little bit faster, so you really got to watch out for those. Is that the one that killed you, Cody?
Oh, every time, man. He just comes up from the side. You're not looking. You're zoomed in, and you'll see if hopefully Dan won't die here, but you'll see it's very quick. Once they cross that threshold onto the grass, you are done for.
Yeah, and if you kill 4 in a row, it starts to explode and kill. It has like a area damage around these guys.
I'm surprised you're releasing that secret. As there is a way to almost guarantee a win if you can get a good rotation with the arrow.
That's true. Yeah, if you can kind of do like a figure 8 over here, but then the guys can kind of sneak past you if you're not careful. So you got to kind of loop it around.
Rory died. Oh no.
Oh no, Rory died.
Just jump right back in, Rory.
Plenty of lives. But think about how maybe you can make a game where maybe a person only has 3 lives, right? That's kind of like arcade style, right? Maybe they have to go through something else to come back and try again. Maybe you have to pay for your lives, like in arcade, right? You pay for a certain amount of tries.
What are you thinking in terms of this game going forward, Dan? Are you thinking that there'll be more development on this, or are you thinking about maybe opening this up to the community? What are we thinking?
That would be cool. I would love to open the code up here for anybody to play on it. I wasn't really sure how much further this game mechanic could go with controlling the arrow here.
Yeah.
It is kind of fun, but I don't know how you would do more level design beyond this.
More levels, yeah.
Yeah.
It could even be just a high score thing.
Oh no. Oh no. Something went wrong live on live stream. Oh man. Okay. If you run into this, guys, let us know. It shouldn't happen. This was what I was afraid of. We ran into this just before going live. All right. Unfortunately, give us some time. We will fix this error. I don't know what's going on. Maybe something happened on the back end trying to update the user record here. We're going to try to see what happens. What should happen is once you beat the game, the keys will mint for you automatically. But unfortunately, we are running into something. So I'm going to report this issue to the developers. Hey, developers. Hey, can the devs do something, please? All right.
Oh, weird. I just got a notification when you sent that in.
Man, that is so unfortunate. This was working perfectly fine all yesterday into today. Something changed. All right, give us some time, guys.
Why don't we just show? I know we have some accounts that already have the keys minted. Maybe we could just show what those look like for users that don't run into this issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could load up one and share if that works.
Sure. Do you have the contract
unless you want to share on your end? It's up to you.
I think I have the contract address maybe in here still. Shapescan.xyz. Here's a token. So these have already been minted. So I could tell some people this has worked for because there's been 15 transfers. So for 5 people, me and Cody tested this out. So we're holders of 3 of these, and there's 3 other people who have been able to get through this so far. So I don't know what's going on with that backend error. We'll get to it. So if you do run into it, I apologize. Come back to it tomorrow and we'll have it fixed. But if you did get through it, congratulations. You are now a Shapecraft T holder. Sorry if anyone has to play it multiple times, but this is what it'll look like. Here are some of the holders. You could see these accounts. They all just got 3. So we could see some of these token transfers just happened 2 minutes ago. So somebody, while we were just doing this, there's 2 people that while we were on the stream were able to get this properly. Yeah. So I promise you, most of the time this works. I don't know what that error is. We're gonna figure it out. I think
Yeah.
it's something.
It's
Yeah.
something on the client side or back end,
Yeah, yeah. It's something that
validation
doesn't.
error.
It's a very inconsistent and hard to reproduce bug, but we will get to the bottom of it. Just because you hit the bug doesn't mean you won't be able to mint the keys. Don't worry, it has nothing to do with that. We will get to the bottom of that bug.
Yeah.
Your key has to do with your unique account that's generated. So, yeah, let's see if any more transfers have occurred. All right. Well, we
Yeah.
got the 2 people that
Nice.
get to get it.
And
Sweet.
so, yeah, just remember, you just need to register before the 30th. Again, most people probably in here are already registered for Shapecraft and are already building. As long as you're registered, you'll be able to claim these at any point that Shapecraft is open over the next month or so. And then also, you'll have, if you also have another opportunity to win 7 more keys towards the end of the hackathon as you submit your project. So this is not the only way in which you'll be able to obtain keys.
That's totally true. And why should people be excited about the keys? I think that's the question that we should ask.
Yeah.
First off, they're minted to mainnet, right? So these, without you having to pay any gas, and you didn't get to see this on live stream, unfortunately, it's a smooth process. But without having to pay any gas, these keys are automatically minted to you at the end of the game once you beat it, if you don't run into any errors. And then you will have these keys on mainnet. Now, why should you be excited about it? Cody, do you want to explain why people should be?
Yeah, I think the reason that you should be excited about it is for all these projects that are actually being built during Shapecraft. And so believe Dan can pull up a few of some people were saying what they were going to build and like how they were going to interact with the keys. And again, that's kind of what I explained the purpose of Shapecraft was from the beginning, was to have these collaborative worlds, collaborative games. And so the key is kind of that exact thing, a key into other worlds, right? And so if everyone in our community has these keys, you're able to interact very, very easily with these different apps and games that are being built.
Yeah. So this is a good example here. So there's a prize on the Shapecraft hackathon if you create projects that make the best use of the key and the eye. And we will also point you to the mainnet collection of the eye. It's something that's a collectible piece of art that you can find by this awesome artist whose name I can never pronounce, Quibibi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Check that one out as well. We'll link that. But for the best use of the key and the eye, you can win an additional $1,000 prize for the 10 best projects that are doing that. And so we asked people yesterday to tell us some of the ideas for what they're doing with the keys in their projects. And these were some of the ones that came up in the Discord. So good example is Shape Paint. This idea of having a collaborative pixel canvas with special shape style brushes. So currently they have 2 ideas for the keys. Now, one thing I should note about Shape Paint is it's similar to base paint for anyone who's familiar with that, which, as I understand it, they made CCO or open source. And so teams are starting to collaborate and build on this. And so the key here would give you the ability to mint a basic brush to participate on the canvas. So sort of like token gating people, you need the key in order to be able to participate. Or maybe if you hold a brush, it can give you additional shapes to unlock with the brush. So kind of this extended functionality that you get for being a key holder. You like this one, Cody?
Yeah, I really liked, especially the number one. Both ideas for sure, but I like the idea that it's like I don't always like the idea of like token gating things, especially if it's like you have to buy this to get into this, unless it's a community that focuses on very specific things. But in this case, it doesn't feel like token gating, right? It's more of like I don't know. Since it's free and you can earn them by just building, I think it's a really great example of how we can use these very easily and showcase like the interactivity between different apps. I can easily see how they come up with some other brush, right, with another NFT of a game that they're working with. It doesn't need to be the key that does this sort of functionality, but once they build it in, that collaboration is just so much easier. And for something as like simple as like painting and collaborating, it's a really unique idea that I actually haven't heard of base paint, and I'm actually looking at it right now, and so that's pretty exciting to to have something like this that unlocks features by doing other things in a specific ecosystem like Shape.
Yeah. I really like number one for the aspect that you're like opening up your application to a set of users, right? You know who your audience is. In this case, it's all the Shapecraft audience, and you're saying, "Hey, come play my game. Only you are allowed to play my game. Only you are allowed to try this right now." Right?
Right.
It's sort of like Gmail when it first came out. You had to get an invite from a friend, right? It's kind of like that, right? Kind of like
Right.
doing that sort of thing. And you could imagine opening it up over time to a number of different NFT collections and sort of picking and choosing your audiences.
Mm-hmm.
I like number two from the aspect that for these items in general, I think it's really cool to just sort of use them to augment the experience. Like, you know of a community that holds keys, or you know of a community that holds these items, and you want to be able to like give them a special experience for them inside of your application. I think that's a really good example of one way that you could do that, that you know that that community would really appreciate. I think that's super cool. I also really like that this is a web application. And a lot of people think that in Shapecraft, you can only build games, but you can build web applications. Anything really that incorporates NFTs from other projects or builds NFTs that other projects could use is really all fair game for Shapecraft. So I think this really showcases that web application side of things as well.
Sure.
Sweet. Let's go on to the next one. So this one, Yuban Hash says, we are currently thinking about having a special maze that is unlockable only by key. Each key will point to an NFT player that are allowed to enter into the maze. Okay, I'll tell you why I like this right away, and I'll ask you, Cody, what you think about this one. But I really like this idea of like each key, like almost seeming as though maybe it's like specific to a particular NFT or player that can enter the maze. The keys are NFTs, so I don't know if that's what Human Hash was referring to here, was like the ability to be able to like recognize keys to have specific like abilities. But you could say, let's say token IDs 100 through 199 have this maze versus this maze, you know, kind of like changing them. And I've seen a few people point that out. So having a whole bunch of different mazes that maybe have different prizes and giving people different experiences based on like what keys they own, that's pretty cool. Yeah. What do you like about this one, Cody?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here without like more context about what the game actually is. But yeah, in an isolated environment of like a special maze that might be in a game with hundreds of mazes, right? And like this key gives you access to this maze, whether there's a reward or not. I think that is an interesting part of the game. One, also because it's like, I don't know, if there's no reward, right, and it's just for fun, like maybe people are just sharing their keys around with other people so they can experience the game, right? Probably not in in the environment that we know, right? Someone's going to try and sell it for a few $1,000. But yeah, I think it's very interesting to have these features in games where like you have to do something to earn X, in this case, the key, right? You need to play the game, participate in this to earn X. You did that. That's like your history, your digital footprint in this game. And then you're able to forever like unlock this additional thing, this additional feature, which I think is really cool. I mean, you've seen it in a bunch of other games. You know, you can get skins at certain times for doing this, right? And then you can never get them again, but it shows your history as a player of like what you accomplished in that game. And so, yeah, I like the idea of this just for that, in that aspect.
You know, I was just reading a book last night. It's called Metaverse. I forget the name of the author. But one of the things they pointed out in the game that I didn't realize they did, Fortnite and Rocket League actually made it so that there are skins that you could bring to both games. So kind of like bring across them.
Really?
Are they both by Epic now? Is Epic
I
owned?
believe so. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know Fortnite was originally developed by Epic, but I'm not sure if Rocket League was too or it got bought. I'm not sure.
So that makes a lot of sense, right? Like within a company, you can kind of do these things. We haven't seen too much of it, but you can do these things. What's really cool here is we're seeing a lot of people coordinate over data that is open and shared, right? On a public API that we know is never going to be taken down. So it's super cool that we're seeing this in game companies today, but also something we're starting to see here. Cool. All right. So the next one here, Talon Dragon said, I could use this for a number of different things. So maybe pick your favorite one, Cody, here for rapid fire.
Yeah, let me take a quick look.
Yeah. So I'll read them out loud. So open random NFT loot drop chests. Oh, that's pretty cool. I saw somebody else point that one out. As a trigger for a special one-time or daily quest. Ooh, wow, these are good. As a starter item that unlocks access to a player's personal bank or safety deposit box. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. As an NFT drop, when players purchase their homes, triggered by in-game or on-chain currency market exchange. Purchase
I'm
their
not sure
home.
what's meant by that one.
Yeah, that one I'm a little confused by as well.
I'd have to reread that one a few times and maybe ask some questions. But yeah, I mean, they're all great. Actually, the one that sticks out to me the most is number 3 here, where it like unlocks a personal bank or safety deposit box, which again, it's like, it's one of those things where, I look at games now where, with someone that doesn't have as much time, that like pay to win is not always the worst in the world. Right. And in this case, it's like, if I was to have the key, I did something to earn it. I participated in Shapecraft, right? I got it and I got a reward for that. And then if someone else wanted to get this specific access, maybe they needed to pay for it, or maybe there's another event that occurs where more keys are dropped. But yeah, I'm definitely a sucker for things that where like if I put in the work, continuous rewardment of that, or I guess not continuous, but reward for that infinitely yeah, or for the lifespan of the game is pretty interesting. So I think that is a cool little mechanic there.
Yeah, I kind of love that as like a key, right? It's very themed. The idea that it opens like a bank or something, a safety deposit box, like that's pretty neat. And also, I love that key as an idea because we have keys for Web3, right? For our wallets that we keep secure to be able to hold on to our stuff on chain. So kind of mimicking that for within a game for a player is pretty cool, right? Not your keys, not your hometown bank, I suppose, in this case.
Do we have one more here?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that I love.
Why don't we do one more, and then we do want to wrap up within a few minutes here. And so maybe what we'll do is we'll go through one more, and then we'll quickly talk about the eye and how the key and the eye relate to the additional prizes available during Shapecraft.
Cool. Last one. All right. The key unlocks the treasure chest of a random NFT airdrop using as close to randomness of an algorithm I can find. The prize wallet holds 500 random NFTs, some worth up to a whole ETH. What I really liked about this idea was the randomness being on chain. I believe that's what this author was talking about. We don't have the full context here on Discord. I grabbed just a piece of the conversation. Unfortunately, sorry, I cut off the author here too, but you can find it on Discord. The idea of using randomness on chain, I think, is a really cool idea, and being able to use this key to also unlock that is super, super neat. So I really like that one as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like I mean, it's a bit of Gamba? I forget what the gotcha gambling or something like that. It's very like kind of like loot boxy. Which some people love, some people don't love so much, but I think it works in this sort of scenario where again, you're getting something and do you want to risk it and possibly get something worth that's very valuable, or possibly get something that's not so valuable. It reminds me of buying Pokemon cards, when you're younger. You never know what you're gonna get. And I think this is a super interesting idea that just is a bit more of like a viral idea than necessarily like a pure game. But I still think that there's a lot of value where this could live in the ecosystem in conjunction with all these other games, right? Like maybe certain NFTs can only be found in these treasure chests, and then they hold a certain value that are implemented into another game or another application. So
yeah, that's what I was starting to think. That's what I was starting to think with this is like you could imagine like these NFTs being other game items to other games, right? And whoever creates this actually has a collection of all these items that some are very rare, some are very common. But maybe you could imagine one of these being like a consumable in one of the games that you really need a consumable for. It's a survival game, or maybe it's a Pokemon sort of thing in like a monster catching game, something like that. Yeah, anything could be in these treasure chests. Super cool.
Rory likes your reaction to the term "gotcha game." I'm pretty sure that is the correct terminology for it. Yeah, gotcha is a game mechanic in terms of well, whatever. Google's not giving me the exact explanation, but.
So we have some more token transfers. So I do see a couple more go through. Unfortunately, not as many as I would have hoped from people being on this stream. Maybe you guys are all too busy watching and listening to me and Cody, or maybe you're running into the errors. Hopefully it's the former and not the latter. We will be trying to fix up that. So try it again at the end of the day or tomorrow. We'll let you guys know once we discover what that bug was. But I do see more people are able to get these. It does say now we're up to token ID 18 down here. So 3 more were just minted. Cool.
Game is too hard. We're getting a lot of the game's too hard.
Oh, people are saying the game's too hard. Oh man, see, there's good Sybil resistance, right?
Good thing you have forever to claim the keys.
That's true.
So you better keep working those fingers till you win.
So one thing I would recommend that's like kind of like an advanced technique for the game is like when you're playing it, like and you fight against the monsters, like make sure that you try when you think that a monster is coming in, you could press spacebar to sort of cancel out of that arrow, right? And then you can come back and play another one. So that way you can kind of come back to your main character. That's a bit of an advanced technique, but might save you from these guys coming in and killing you.
Yeah, the combos are huge. They will help you win.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Last thing to note, which we'll say here as well. We're going to be sharing more information about the eye as well. You should have seen it already in some of the info that we sent out on Twitter and on Alchemy University here, but we will be sharing the NFT collection address in the on the prizes section on Alchemy University. The eye again is a collection on art collection by Quib BB. I don't know if I'm saying that correct. You could check it out. You can find it. We will share more info on it. And that is another item that you can implement with the key to be able to be qualified for that prize of the $1,000 best use of the key and the eye. Cool. Anything else, Cody?
No, not necessarily. Check out the prize section underneath the Shapecraft in Alchemy University underneath the Shapecraft Hackathon. We just updated it to make it a little bit more clear. I know there was some confusion on like, well, what track should we go for? What is supplementary? And so just take another look at that. Because we did update it, and so it might be helpful to show the difference between like what an existing world is and what a new world is.
Sweet. Okay, thanks all. We're gonna go get working on that bug in case anybody ran into it. Maybe it was just me, but hopefully. And then
you join us in the Shape Discord if you have any questions. You're running into any issues. That is where we're answering most questions. Alchemy University Discord is also available, but Hackathon is in the Shape Discord.
Sweet. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining in.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Oh, look at that. Crypto Bro received their keys. Good job, Crypto Bro. Awesome. Take care, everybody.
Yeah,
the arrow doesn't move in a circle. You got to remove it in like a figure 8. That's the key.
I was able to get a circle. I just
you got a circle? There shouldn't be enough room. Man. Okay.
I found it. I found a hack. I
don't know. Okay, well, maybe play with the screen resolution. Cody's got a big screen, and maybe there's different dynamics there.
You need more resolution. That's what it is.
All right, take care, everybody.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.